Greetings everyone, this is the intro for methods to determining salinity lab. So first of all, what is salinity? Salinity is a measure of the inorganic solids dissolved in a sample of water. As we've mentioned in class, the average salinity of the ocean is about 34 parts per thousand. In today's lab, we're going to be looking at 4 different methods for determining salinity. The first method is called the evaporation method, and in this method takes the longest, so we need to do that one first. So the first thing we do is we need to get a sample of salt water. So at your lab station there should be a 250 milliliter beaker. Fill it up with the container. Make sure you write down the letter on the container. And after that we need to measure the mass of both the 100 milliliter beaker and this watch glass. So we'll take this over to the digital scale and we will zero it. Tap that, see it blinking there, and then we'll determine the mass of these two together and make sure we write it down to 3 decimal places. That's pretty good there. Alright, come back to your lab station, measure out 10 milliliters of water from your beaker with this, add it to your 250 milliliter beaker, and then take it back over and measure the mass again. Now, with a little bit of math, you can calculate the mass of just the water. Now we plug in our hot plate, turn it on, place this on top of it, and you're going to literally watch water boil until all the water is boiled off and there should just be salt in there. Just before that happens, you should start hearing the salt pop. Almost looks like popcorn down in there. That's why the watch glass is up there. And as soon as it starts popping, we take our tongs here and we remove it off of the hot plate. Let it cool for a few minutes, and then once it's cooled, take it back over to the scale and determine the mass again. A little bit of math, you can calculate the mass of just the salt. Oh yeah, once the hot plate is cooled down, unplug it and wrap it back around the hot plate, the cord. The second method you're going to do is specific gravity. And you'll need a 100 milliliter graduated cylinder. You'll need your sample of water. So you're going to add the water till you fill it up. And you're going to need the hydrometer. You're going to place your hydrometer into the graduated cylinder very gently, like this, and eventually it will float in the water. And if you look right here, you can see there's a little scale. And you're going to look at the number where the water level is and write that number down or enter it into your lab. And also, you need to notice and record the temperature of the water. And there is a place for that in the lab write-up. Once you're done, place the hydrometer back into the cardboard box. It is glass, so we want to protect it. After you have those 2 values, if you scroll all the way down in the lab, you'll see a couple charts. And you find the hydrometer reading, you find the temperature reading, and where those 2 come together, you can figure out the salinity of the water. At this point, you're done using your graduated cylinders. Whenever you're not using a graduated cylinder, they should not be sitting up on the lab counter, they should be laying down. Like that, not like this. The third method for determining salinity uses the refractometer, this device right here. And it measures how much light is bent as light passes through the water. So we take our pipette, put it into our container of our sample of water, add 2 or 3 drops right there, close this like this, and then look through, hold this up to the light, and look through the eyepiece, and you can see the top half is blue, the bottom half is white. Where the blue and white meet, that line, look on the scale, and you can record the salinity. And with this one here, that would be the salinity on the Salinity is on the right scale. So look at the right scale. Pretty easy to use. When you're done, open this back up, dry it off, and put it back down. The last method we're going to do is conductivity. The more salts that are in the water, the higher the salinity and the more conductivity the water sample would have. So to do that, we're going to use the Veneer salinity probe, and that's set up right over here. So let me show you. So we take our sample of water. This one is so easy. We literally set it down in front of the computer, take the probe, place it in the water, wait about 3 or 4 seconds, and record the salinity in the lab right up. Told you that one was easy. That's all there is to the lab. When you're done collecting your data, make sure you clean up the lab space. Take these and wash these in the sink at the end of the lab counter down there, and make sure your lab area is dry. That's all there is to it.